Hello, my name is Aidan and welcome to another Golf Predictor video tutorial. In this video I shall be talking about the compare field ranking pages. To start, we will go to the prediction rankings page. To do that, you can go to the predictions menu and click on the first option. If you do that, you will be brought to the following page, which as usual I have preloaded on another tab. So, looking at this page, say for example you wanted to see and compare how Bubba Watson, Jim Furyk, Jason Day and Matt Kuchar were in the important metrics compared to the field, i.e. you wanted to see where they rank in the field for certain metrics. Well, how can you do that for all the golfers in one go? You could go into each prediction data page for each golfer by clicking on their name and see how they rank in each of the metrics separately. But to see it all in one place for more than one golfer, that would be very useful when trying to decide between different golfers for spots on your fantasy team or for which golfers to bet on. So to do this, you can go to the predictions menu, click on compare field rankings, and if you do that, you will be brought to the following page, which I have also preloaded on a separate tab. On this page you can select the tournament of interest in the usual way, and underneath the tournament information, which again is on most pages on Golf Predictor, you see there is a list box containing all the golfers in the field for the chosen tournament. So in this case it's for the 2015 Canadian Open, so you can see all the golfers that are lined up to play in this tournament are listed alphabetically by surname in this box. So all you have to do is find the golfers of interest and click compare golfers. So for example, we said we wanted to compare Bubba Watson, Matt Kuchar. Remember, keep control pressed to select more than one golfer, so I have my finger on the control key. Then go to Jim Furyk, and lastly Jason Day. So basically we're going to look at the top 4 golfers in the GP rankings and see how they rank in the field for the various important metrics. So when you have your golfers selected, and please note that you can only select up to 10 golfers in using this functionality. If you try to select more than 10, you will get a pop-up dialog box telling you to stick within the maximum allowed limits. So we only have 4 golfers selected, so we'll just press the button. I should have said that the page defaults when you load it up first the first golfer in the list, so you'd only have seen the data for Stephen Alker. Okay, so we've selected our 4 golfers. First thing to note is a fairly recent introduction to this page. All the golfers you select are listed above the data table with their IDs in brackets. Because there's a limited amount of space in this table, there isn't enough space to put the golfer's first name. We just have to use the golfer's ID in the Golf Predictor database. So for example, Jason Day, his ID is 1030. So you see the first column, the first row is 1030, and if you hover over that, again you will see Jason Day. Similarly, in the same order that the golfers appear in this list, they appear in rows on the table. So the second one would be Jim Furyk, third one Matt Kuchar, and the last one would be Bubba Watson. Okay, again, as you notice there, if you hover over each golfer's ID, you will get a synopsis of his field ranking performance. So for example, you can see that Jason Day has got 3 top rankings, 6 other rankings in the top 10, 3 field rankings between 11 and 50, and he's not ranked outside 50 for any of the metrics. However, he does have 2 unavailable rankings, and we'll talk about that in a second. So hovering away from Jason Day again, you see that if you count the number of ones in his row, you have 3, which is what we saw in the hover over text. We also saw 2 non-available ones. These unavailable ones happen because Jason Day has no course or tournament history in the last 5 years. Now he has played on the same course in the same tournament in 2008 and 2009, but that is just outside the limit that Golf Predictor analyzes for the historical information. Okay, so again, this table is color coded, so people with top rankings are shown in a red background. Those who have top 10 rankings that are not top rankings are shown in yellow, and rankings between 11 and 50 are shown in gray, as you see there, and outside top 50 rankings are shown in blue. Now, if you hover over any of the ranking information, for example, the top 10s in the season, and again, if you do not know what any of these column headers stand for, you can see the key table underneath the data table, so you can refer to that. So if you want to see, well, further information on Jason Day's ranking for the top 10s in season, you see he's ranked number 1. This could mean first on his own or tied first. So hover over the actual number and it tells you that in this GP season he has 6 top 10s. So that's why he ranked number 1. If you see wins in current season, you see that 3 of the golfers have shared the top ranking because they have all won once this season thus far. Matt Kuchar being the only one that hasn't won any tournament, hence he has no win information available. So you see here, you see at a glance the golfer's performance in certain key metrics, and you can compare and contrast them very, very quickly. The last thing I would like to say about this page is that there's also a visual representation of this chart information if you click on this stack chart link here. So doing that, you see that the information that was in that data table is plotted visually, so you can see at a glance the performance of each golfer. So again, you see that Jason Day hovering over each segment gives you a pop-up information as normal. So he has had 3 top rankings from the 14 metrics. If you hover over the same segment for Jim Furyk, he also has had 3. Matt Kuchar is only top in 1 of the metrics, while Bubba is top in 4 of them. So again, it's color coded. So red means top ranked, blue means other top 10 rank. This light purple color means ranked 11 to 50, and outside top 50 ranking is yellow, and the non-available ones are green. So as you recall, Jason Day had 2 non-available ones because he doesn't have any course or tournament history in the last 5 years. So this chart is really, really useful for seeing the information presented in the data table on the main page in a visual manner, which makes it easier to digest. Okay, so we'll close that and go back to the main page. Okay, so the final thing I would like to talk about is the similar predictions field rankings page with tee-off groups. So to do that, go to the predictions menu and click on the option highlighted there. And if you do that, you will land on the following page, which again I have preloaded on a separate tab. Now this page is practically identical to the main compare field rankings page, except for the method of selecting golfers. Gone is the list box that you saw earlier that you could select up to 10 golfers, and instead you have a list drop-down list box containing all the tee-off groups for the tournament. Every Tuesday evening, once the tee-off groups are announced or released for the tournaments on the European and US PGA Tours, I input this information into Golf Predictor, and you can then directly compare the members of each tee-off group easily and quickly. This functionality was introduced as a result of a very useful user request, because previously they had to go through each of the tee-off groups of interest and manually pick them in the main compare page. So this makes it much easier for people who like to bet on 3 balls with their bookie. Well, that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.